Hello again, everybody. This is Mr. Williams, and I'm here with another mini lesson today for you. And the mini lesson today is on naming and writing formulas for binary molecular compounds. These are the compounds that are composed of two non-metallic elements. And so we have to make sure that we can recognize those as we look at their formulas themselves, first by what the element symbols are, or going through their names and looking at some with numeric prefixes. So what I want to do is I want to go through each of those with you quickly. First, remember that binary molecular compounds are two nonmetals. Looking at your periodic table, remember the staircase that is off to the right-hand side. All the elements that lie to the right of that staircase would be considered nonmetals. Also, don't forget hydrogen would fall into that category as well. Since there are only two of these elements in the compound, it's going to end in "ide." The difference is that there can be multiple ways, because they are dealing with covalent bonds, that we can put these different elements together and numbers of each of those elements. And so we have to use a numeric prefix to try and describe the number of each of those elements and the atoms we have for them. So what you first notice below are the prefixes. For 1, it's mono, 2 is di, 3 is tri, etc. And so most of them are your geometry type prefixes, but again, the first couple are not, so you want to make sure you have them memorized. But after that, it's really kind of easy to do these. For example, to name binary molecular compounds, you will first have to write the name of the first elements. You only use a numeric prefix if there would be more than one atom for this case. After you've written the name, you have to write the name of the second element, ending with that IDE ending, but you always must use a numeric prefix on the second word describing the second element of the compound. Let me show you what I mean. We have SO3. Well, S we know happens to be sulfur. So if we were to name this first one, it'll be sulfur. Since there are two elements, we're going to name it oxide. But the key, there happen to be 3 oxygens. So we're going to call it trioxide, or sulfur trioxide. The next one may look familiar to most of you, at least I hope so. It is carbon. And since there are 2 oxygens, it would be called dioxide, or carbon dioxide. That stuff we breathe out every time we take a breath in. Finally, below, we have, this one's a little different. We have 2 nitrogens in this case. So now, instead of just writing nitrogen, since there are 2 of them, we have to write dinitrogen. In the 2 previous examples, there was only 1 of that first element, so no prefix was needed. But now, since there are 2, we write the dinitrogen, and we still have to use a numeric prefix when we write the second one. In this case, it would be tetraoxide. What I find that happens is that once you learn this method, you try to apply prefixes to all of your inorganic compounds as well. Remember the big rule in that case: do not use prefixes with inorganic compounds. We only want to use them here with these types, these binary molecular compounds. Now, when writing their formulas from their names, this is honestly the easiest of all of them. And so what we want to do is we want to take their name. You'll recognize them because you will see numeric prefixes. And so since you see numeric prefixes, just write the number of atoms that are described by the prefixes in the name. Phosphorus trichloride. Phosphorus is 1P. Trichloride means 3 Cls, or PCl3. Carbon monoxide. Carbon is C. Monoxide, mon means 1. So that's going to just be CO in this case. And finally, I see a prefix in front, so it'll be diarsenic, so As2, since it says di. Pentabromide means Br5 is penta. Again, you're just writing the numbers that are associated with each of those numeric prefixes. Really simple to do. So hopefully this helps you in naming and writing formulas for binary molecular compounds. I do have some practice problems here for you now. Try those different 10 out. See if you can name them. See if you can write the possible formulas for them. And I will have the answers to follow. Thanks again for joining me. We'll see you next time.